Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Shadow Blaziken in the Sunshine Cup. We're going to have a legend team here as well, which is going to be a very interesting as we're going to have a double fire line with the Flygon in the lead, and we're going to encounter in the first battle the worst possible matchup there. But here's the thing about Blaziken, it is quite funny to flip switch advantage. This Pokemon is very good in the current meta, counter users are quite rare, and this Pokemon, while counter got nerfed, is doing so much damage against the current meta here. As you're going to see, you're going to be able to fully farm down this dance boss if you use another shield, and this is totally okay because, yeah, we're going to have the Obama Snow still, which you're going to now be able to align against our Magcargo, so we're going to be in a very solid spot, especially as they're going to reveal the Miltank in the back, allowing us to now align this Pokemon against the Flygon, and we're going to get the final shield here from them, but I can even still get to another Blaze Kick, doing some very solid damage against the opponent, and we can now move on into the Flygon. They swap out, and now they have the Magcargo against their little tree there, and so it's going to be a very easy victory, as they're going to be able to wall the opponent now, and honestly, Blaziken did a great job there. And this is the thing, this team also, like a lot of teams here in the current meta are very weak to this Pokemon. Marowak can be a bit of a trickier one because our backline really doesn't want to face this Pokemon, and also our lead doesn't really want to face this Pokemon as it has better stats against us. Mudstep is just one of the most broken moves, and also Marowak just won the recent regional event there, which is not really a big surprise. It did not really win one beforehand yet because it is a very difficult Pokemon to get. The last time the Shadow Marowak or like the Shadow Cubone was available is over 200, like basically 2.5 years ago at this point, and so it does make a lot of sense that there are currently not as many around, especially here as well, just because a lot of people don't have a good Marowak in Shadow, and I hope that this is going to be available eventually again, but like right now it's a bit tricky to get this Pokemon with great PvP IVs. We're going to see the Miltank against us now, which is going to go ahead and go for the charge move. It's going to be the body slam. It's going to be resisted, and so we are gonna get to another move afterwards as well. The shields are not there anymore. We can take another body slam, and we can actually, yeah, just swap out of here and go for the full farm down, which is great as now you have now a ton of energy. I know that the charge move stalled, so we're forced to go straight for our own charge move, get the shield from the opponent, and with this we're going to be able to win the battle. As they're going to be energy dry at this point, we are going to be able to just go for the Rock Tomb, and as you can see there down right as well, the opponent forfeited already, winning us this battle here. So next opponent, we're going to have a great lead for ourselves. It's going to be the Talonflame that swap out into the Digger Spear, allowing us to go back into our Blaziken. A lot of times the opponent goes for a bait here, but you cannot really risk it. If they go for Scorching Sand, you cannot screw it, and so you're going to decide to use a shield here against the Fire Punch. We're still going to be able to go for a Blaze Kick. If they want to use a shield, they can go for a Scorching Sand afterwards, but we're going to be able to fully farm them down, which is going to be great for us, as we have also still access to the move Stone Edge, and also we're going to be able to align the Talonflame now against the Magcargo in the back. What is a bit of an issue for this team are Mud Boys. Mud Boys can be a bit tricky for this one here for sure, if you don't really get them into the correct spots. As you're going to see here right now as well, the opponent most likely going to be able to get to 2 moves against us, and this is going to be a bit problematic, I have to say, as the next Mud Bomb is coming through very likely afterwards. We're most likely going to see a shield coming up here as well, which is very sad. I was really hoping that they would try to focus fully onto the Talonflame, but sadly they won't, and so yeah, now it's Quagsire against our Magcargo, and we can just forfeit, as a Mud Bomb would easily knock us out. Another horrible lead, but it's not too bad for us because we can swap out here into the Blaziken, and we're at least going to be able to get a shield advantage here, which is already okay for us. That's totally okay for me that we're gonna get this one here, as we can at least align now our Magcargo. It is not a good matchup for us either now. We're gonna be forced to kind of fully farm them down, which is not really ideal. But they're gonna decide to go straight for a charge move. Very likely going to be a Swift here. Swift is going to be, oh, it's actually Icy Wind, trying to get our attack down, which does make sense as well. And they're actually doing quite a lot of damage here, but at least we're gonna be able to get up to 100 energy with our Magcargo for later on. I have to let the move go through, of course. I'm just hoping here at this point that I'm going to be able to win the battle with our Flygon. As you're gonna see here, Licky is coming in next. This Pokemon is gonna be able to go for Body Slam, which is not going to be too scary for us. We can let one move go through. I can go for the Dragon Claw now as well, trying to put them into a range where I can fully farm them down afterwards. As they let the move go through, I should be able to go for the full farm down. This is looking pretty decent for us. We have so much energy still on our Magcargo. We're going to be able to get the knockout here, and they're still going to have that Digger Speed in the back. I'm going to overfarm by a bit, which maybe was a bit of a mistake here. Should have maybe just went ahead and went straight for the charge move instead, but yeah, I can go for the Dragon Claw. Very likely going to get no shield here, most likely, but I can go for the Scorching Sand right afterwards. This is going to force the opponent as well to either put the shield up or get like very, very low, allowing us to get another free fast move in here with our Cargo. They're forced to go for a Scorching Sand here. They have to have also, by the way, a Fire Punch now at this point to win the battle, which they don't, and so we can win this one. Next opponent coming through, we're going to have an interesting lead. This is not a bad lead at all, but we have 2 fire types in the back. We lagged a bit in the beginning, giving the opponent like around 2 free fast moves there, which is not really ideal. But as we're gonna see here, Molten is gonna camp through a Pokemon that is weak to counter. Don't know why they swap into this one, but we will gladly take it as we can go for the Blaze Kick. We can go for the full Farm Down afterwards as well if they would want to use a shield, which they don't. And they're actually gonna go back into their Grass type Pokemon against us, allowing us to go for the Blaze Kick, get that shield back from them, allowing us to align ourselves, have a fire type against the opponent's superior. And this is like the very nice thing about it. Blaziken is so great at basically realigning themselves that we end up in scenarios where Cargo is in a great position, and if Cargo is in a great position, we have access to Rock Tomb to maybe even debuff whatever is in the back for the opponent, which you're gonna see here exactly right now. Or actually, we're gonna go for the Overheat straight away to get just a ton of damage onto them. That also would work out quite well. Here, also I went for the Rock Tomb now in hindsight. But basically, we want to end up in scenarios where we're just going to have a great time with Cargo, and having the option to debuff the opponent's attack for guaranteed there basically is a very, very good. Like Rock Tomb, definitely a very solid move on this Pokemon. Rock Tomb could actually get buffed eventually again as well. I feel like it's not like a strong one in terms of the damage output, but again, it's very solid on this one, and we can see the full Farm Down against Superior. Talonflame is going to be next here. Again, a very solid matchup actually for us in the lead. I usually just kind of want to play it out and go for that extra free fast move here, because this is going to allow us to have a way better matchup later on. Fly is coming through, we can use a shield, and they're going to swap out into the Steelix. I can go into the Blaziken, which is not as ideal either, but Blaziken is going to be the weaker pick against the opponent's Talonflame. And as I don't really want to use a shield, I kind of going to go down here. But I don't think it's really too bad, because we have 2 great ends against Talonflame still, and we can get the full farm now done here as well with the Cargo, getting us a ton of energy, which can be very helpful. Again, Talonflame doesn't want to come in against us. We're going to have quite a lot of energy now against whatever they have in the back. We can debuff whatever they have in the back. We know that we have 2 Pokemon that are good against Talonflame, but they're sadly going to have the Flygon here. They still have 2 shields, I think, and so I decided to go for the Overheat. They use a shield here, but we can go still for another Dragon Claw, as this is gonna now get the next shield. And they don't stop out, weirdly enough, allowing me to go for another Dragon Claw, doing a tremendous amount of damage. As we're gonna see them, they're gonna be enraged now for our Cargo. I can even get the knockout here against the Talonflame, which is really, really good for us. And so with this, we are going to be able to win the battle, as we just need one more fast move to knock them out. So, next opponent, we're going to encounter here the Chestnut in the lead. This team, by the way, I played it for an entire day, I think for like 25 battles total, and I definitely went away positive with this. I think I went 15-10 with this team, which is very solid. Of course, there's still going to be losses as well with this team, which is kind of normal in the current meta because it's quite a narrow meta. But 15-10 is just like, it really, really felt consistent. Like, if you have the Pokemon played for the last 2 days here, it's a very consistent team to run. Would definitely recommend you to try it out. And also, as you're gonna see here, we're gonna see the matchup against the opponent's Oranguru. We can go for the full farm down. Let's see what is coming in next. It is going to be the Chestnut again, which can of course go for the superpower here, which is a bit scary. We're going to use a shield against that potential superpower. It is going to be the superpower as well. And they have their own Cargo in the back, which I actually going to be quite happy about, because we have the option to debuff their attack first, and it's going to make the matchup way easier for us, as now we are going to be able to let the move go through. It's going to be the opponent's Rock Tomb. I can go for my own Rock Tomb eventually as well again, but I can also swap out into my own Flygon, go for a Dragon Claw, get the knockout with that one, and now we're still going to have our Cargo, but I'm a bit scared that they're going to get to another move here against us first. They're going to be able to get a ton of energy, and sadly that is going to be enough to go for the superpower before I can go for the Overheat, and this is quite unfortunate, but good game to the opponent, very well played. Talonflame is going to be next here. There's going to be a matchup again where we're going to have a great time with our lead, but also with the final Pokemon that we still have left. Even if they're going to decide to maybe let the move go through here, we're going to still have Stone Edge onto our Blaziken as well, making the match a way more easier, at least for us, because Stone Edge is going to be double super effective against Talonflame. Blaziken is coming through from the opponent here, As you will see, we're going to use a shield as well against them. It is going to be a Scorching Sands again. We're going to try our best to fully farm them down. And in comes the opponent's Quagsire. And again, Quagsire is a bit of an issue. I can go for the Stone Edge. This is going to be enough at least to get them kind of low. I swap out of here, try to do as much damage as possible. And as we're going to see, we got them quite low already, which is really good. And they decide to stay in here. They have 1 HP left, and I think this 1 HP I'm going to be able to still get rid of with the rest of my Pokemon. We can go for the Dragon Claw, get the shield, which is important as well. I can even get another Dragon Claw off, and they're still gonna have to take one more Dragon Tail from us as well, putting them into easy farm down range basically for our Magcargo. We can just go for one fast move. They can go for a Brave Bird if they want to, it doesn't really matter. They decide to go for the Fly, it's not doing any damage really, and the Quagsire is gonna go down. Next opponent, we're going to have a great lead again for us. We can kind of deal with this Pokemon with all of ours, but they're actually running Smackdown, making it a way easier matchup for our lead, but of course we didn't know this. And so we're going to use a shield here, but I'm fairly certain we're still going to be in a fine spot. I can go for the bait against the opponent's Talonflame. Let's see if they're going to fall for it or not. They decide to use a shield here, which is really important because now I can align myself accordingly. As they decide to go for a big charge move here as well, I can take the hit, it's going to be the Fly, and we can go back into our Magcargo, which is going to be able to go for the Rock Tomb soon as well, which would knock out the opponent. Let's see what they're going to do here. Next is going to be a Fly coming in. I can go for the Rock Tomb. The Rock Tomb is going to be able to connect, and we are in a very solid spot. This is going to knock them out. It's going to be still 2 Pokemon for the opponent. But yeah, we will see here the Oranguru in the back, which is not really ideal, but we can go straight for the Overheat, because at this point I can force damage. I can either hit this Overheat, which I will be able to do, or otherwise I would be able to go for the Scorching Sands after a few fast moves, which would also be ideal for us, as we would be able to still do a lot of damage with that. As you know, of course, they have Smackdown on the Chestnut, not too scary, and we can win the battle. Flygon against Vigoroth was not a matchup I was anticipating, but we can at least still just play it out a bit. They're going to be able to go for 1 Body Slam after 6 counter now, not 5 counter anymore, making it a way better matchup for us. And as you're going to see here, we're going to still be able to go for the Dragon Claw in time, and next time I'm going to be able to outspeed them. So I'm actually quite happy about them using a shield, because it's going to guarantee me either switch or shield advantage, and I will take the switch advantage here for sure. They swap onto the dub wall, and I can see here already that they're apparently very weak to Blaziken. We will see the Body Slam coming through, and they're gonna swap out now into the Dunsparce, showcasing how weak they actually are, which is kinda mad. Like, it's so weak to our Pokemon here. And they even let the move go through, which is amazing for us. If they didn't do this, I would have been in big trouble, because my Pokemon in the back, Magcargo, would have got a one-shot. I was not too sure if I would be able to get enough damage onto them with my Flygon. But like this, we are going to be in a great spot, as I am not really worried about the dub wall here whatsoever. Double Kick is barely doing any damage. And as you're going to see here, we're going to do a ton of damage, or like even, yeah, ton of damage with Incinerate, but also get the debuff there. And we can easily win the battle. So, final battle for today, we're going to encounter here Girafarig. Girafarig is going to be a Pokemon that I also said already is very good in the meta, as it doesn't have an answer really. But also, it is quite squishy, allowing us to fully farm them down without going for a charge move, and they have a Chansey in the back. What are the chances for this? I have never seen this Pokemon since basically it got nerfed really. Like, it's okay, maybe like I saw like 1 or 2 times, but yeah, Chansey was quite a rare Pokemon. For them, it's actually a very solid matchup. While counter super effective, they also do super effective damage against us, and as we are very, very squishy, the opponent is literally quite the opposite of that. It is quite a bit of a difficult matchup for us. By the way, fun fact, the reason why Chansey is so strong in this meta, or like in general in Pokemon Go, is kind of the way of how the stats got basically shown in Pokemon Go. The thing is, for Pokemon Go, both defense stats kind of get put together, and you get like basically half of it for each of them. So like if you have a high special defense and a very bad defense stat, you're going to still have a neutral one in between somewhere there. And so for Chansey, it's a huge benefit, because Chansey has insane amount of HP in the main series games, insane amount of special defense, but literally 0 physical defense. And this is not a problem in Pokemon Go, because the defenses kind of get added together and split in like in 2 basically. And this kind of allows Pokemon to be very bulky, but not bulky enough to beat Blaziken. So this is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed this one. You're going to see a top team video later on this channel, so stay tuned for this. Subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you then. Bye bye.